Wetiefo no wahwefo nyina all across the country, and meaning say through your social media channels so so amanone a omuhwe bi na mikase meda wase se oma mesa akonye efi se adwumadi ayedie delegates ne dos be 250,000 thereabouts na wanhwe ya na wanya kwan no wanhia obia na nso so through channels to semudie me gidi se dodo no atie nti me say se me be program na me dey send ya koma delegates no dodo na executives no no so share on platform so na wo mo bia nhyiemu ebe ne mo ntimi ama no no mo humani so adi hu no ni senti a me feel say I'm the right person now to lead this party into victory in 2028. Tintina menam. And then I may share the second phase of Ashanti region tour. Me tour no so no what I do is me share constituency executives, former executives, electoral area coordinators, former appointees, ministers, MPs, DCs, patrons and elders. Nti yana omudoso kakra.
Sure.
Nim say enye adwuma edafom nti yegusu ayeye and I hope say omuso ombeta mechi echitapa na omuso makai adwumaden tu ho ache adwuma amaye de asom yekoi efritete say obia oye executive ode no ho abo afore say oye adwumaden no onim say adwumaden na ese so nipa ani. If indeed is a party that rewards hard work, dedication, loyalty, I think it's the time I tick all those boxes for us to return the party back to its roots. And the theme of my campaign has been MPP, going back to our roots. Meka roots na. Meka subaimpa. Ahase minye uraha. 96.3. And let's say one of our two fathers. Mukona here. Mr. Apia Minka. Apia Minka. And Dr. Donko Fojo. 2 days ago, me baho na ne ready 90. Nti me bechiano. Nti me refuse na awusie egumi.
That's right.
Because me dena me akola 29, 30 years in 1992, 1991, ye work towards the return of democracy. Na minim se we share Ghana statistics now. One way to about 60-65% ye below the age of 40. Inti seminya kwenya siya. Ya na me pese me do mo kwa kakra. For them to appreciate say Jenny na ekwan ya faso abedru ha no. Enye kwan a ye sorry ya ne nsakan. Because people take it for granted. Nansan bi metete bi ne bi mu kra mrante ni bi ka we asoja for kra me take you over and I'm say 40 years ago and over asoja for be take you over from Liman Kumasi ase eniema ye fe mu ha no na se we Kumasi ni na so ka ku asema na bia o papa ana ona na bi ana obi a nkyere o de sie e start here near that 6 o'clock curfew na call 7 Neko 8, Neko 9 for a long time into nightlife or Kumasia ne Ghana hanyina. I say yeah. Wo mususa. Se mwati Odion Dinda, Rivoli, Rex and na KGTR was the hotbed of entertainment in this country. Nebia Kumasia. Yeah, ne won create me tuka ne aba because disco sunkwa ne gu ho. Omar the Shrine, Sphinx, Golden Key, Dim Light. Just that area, hono, the economic activity na a generating. Na nyasem kitwa. Ntinanse beto abana yenu anomo ka 24-hour. Me sure undi na msibia history no ntina bino omo aka kire se Ghana for your memory is short. Because your memory is shorter. Obi ntimi nkogina ensuo na tifi. No hono. Uyo abegyina na afo abusa se hwan na hono nsuo no. Those who destroyed the nightlife and the 24-hour were now preaching 24-hour economy. Ti ya na minya akonya se ya na is important. Say it took a struggle. Mpenimfo te say apia minkanom. Omunyuma nyina yesheda gu bi no munyuma. Addison, BA Mensa, Boachi Matres, Wiafe, Ike Usu, Meka Minkenwi, Nekrumha Ehu. To even be identified as MPP, and I said, Dankwa Buzi a year started, Kumasia, Nempeninfo atakura jimanum eye meeting. And sana ye on kran so de ne article mrantie kura friend Young Executive Forum. Ani eteshia wo former Ejusu MP, former foreign minister. Akwesio say je ni office wo Kingsway building. Okay. And na say mayure hina ne wo menhia. Doctor say say she am to the scene ne nkonwa din no. Ni office mo amunimu kran. Kujo Thompson Road, Avenida Hotel, na ye opposite. Ne omso masi asore kese bi ho. Sa time no Tro magazine Health Guide. Na ye mrantie no. Ni akuhia na ye dwendwen kwan ya de pressure beto PNDC so. Na kebima menkebi aba. It took time. Justice Sanan, no chairman of National Commission for Democracy in a call around the country. Say okojiji adwenkyere to adwen. But at that time, no, the Cold War had ended. Into Berlin Wall na atofom, so there was pressure in the whole world because the Soviet Union had collapsed. Into the East-West dichotomy, na weakened kakra. Until everybody was pushing for democracy. And sana, after 11 years of the PNDC and the selling off of over 350 state enterprises, Kumasi say, near bought industrial league, I'm from Indafa. We are to bomb place num LL KBL ni na ejuma shoe factory jute factory no me now football teams at that time na football no was largely amateur entina ombo football na nom sa esa na banks no akofa omo no mo ye ejuma kakra ho no mo santi was a bank league and Dafa league one kind ni Kumasi and that's right no mo league table nyina enti emrante na atore bia mpese mo kai se binimu samianim fifiri ibinimu ehwere yenkwa ibi dwane ko amanone eko exile ansana kebima menkebi ebetintim nti wo man na kasa MPP ne NDC adekro na nya adekro our forefathers fought for democracy and then can you see a Lawson radio as a TV na ba ko pe Ghana Broadcasting Corporation na sata na me abrante the youngest 25-year-old me host sports highlights for Ghana. I will be a real. Intimidate me a celebrity in them. At I know me a brandy am hofe kakra. So, enti ye can way nyina na ye can the abisi asem so say ne wo hwe party politics na ebinumu eye no te se de sebi e adidie no contribution no chop. Politics it's not about chopping. Yenyim free lexicon mukra. It's about service. To me, I mount my political career on what I call the Triple S doctrine. So bitimi aso, o mind through ko. Won't expect anything in return. So bitimi do ho abo afore. Na so onye pesimin kumnya. When I talk about service, sacrifice, and selflessness. Now the vision is to rebuild a country. Omaya, ye betimi place emphasis on mobilizing our productive capacity. Sebi Ghana for omo nimdie ankra juma ye be encourage omnia build our productive capacity to replace our dependence on importation. Yeah. Yes, right. Ye bibia ne yekra abekrom ha. Enunti ama ejuma abeye asem. Na ni nyina abekwa akosi ya. It dwells on one point, which is my major point of my 6-point plan for Ghana, which has to do with land reform. Ikrumha, yensasi sem, ye land administration, eto sinikesi. If you go to the course, saturated with several thousand cases, a beard 20 years, a beard chese. We really need to sanitize our land administration. My main aim will be land reform in this country. Also to make sure that the titling of land as a tool to release capital. Abusuya bia wo ade anyame digya omo wasase ancestral lands to be protected and ownership given to the real owners of the land. Yes, I mean, no Tifiani is a good year baha. Yes, yentum free ha, no beating cry. Not watchro krata, at least a match and near now brunibi. No about betu, no the co. We've practiced over 100 years of mining in this country. And so go to the mining areas. Obuasi, Takwa, Bugoso, Pristia, Huni Valley, and all you see is devastation, poverty, and penury. When the young people were promised prosperity and jobs. So, then here that political will to be able to have the courage to take unpopular decisions. So, when you are elected president, you are there to serve the interests of all of Ghana, not only your party faithful. Of course, you say, Akokoba, Unya Abebestre. So, of course, there are advantages to be gained when you have a party in power. But I think that right now, Adia Ghana is this stridently divisive posture of this country. Yayama ene abe interfere with even our public services, which in my view is overly politicized. Nti eyeme nwanwa se aban sisan ubekwa adwumasi apam afia is where you say these are public services that belong to the state of Ghana. Nti me, one of my major points is to restore professionalism and meritocracy back to the public services. Now, yen reduces our politicization. Yes, we recognize Article 71, Emma Omampeni Akwenya, to appoint the heads of these state organizations. But they can do with little tinkering. So with them, children. Because me so anami ye juma, Ghana Highway Authority as a young civil engineer. Your dream say your chief executive. Bo humoding to progress. So, our colleagues in Volta River Authority and GMPC and Gapoa, all those major entities like Ghana Gas and SNET nomniade. And Kuffour who have the institutional memory and capacity to run those organizations. Those organizations will become better, more efficient if we have people who know it to run it. So now we have over-politicized these things, presidents after presidents. But yes, or appointed chief executive, you can even appoint people from within. But even if you decide to bring from the outside, get people who are competent, who are knowledgeable, not political hacks. You earn the respect of the organization. So, very important. And those are things that me feel say high. Now, say crowd they attract not only the public organizations, the armed security services, which worsens the thing. To come and wipe out over 20 of our top generals on the basis of appointing a new CDS who is much, much junior. I think that is not acceptable. It's not right. Because media Mampeni Kuffour Misum no wanya sa. Me kai say later. In fact, with the police say you better police near no BS no kroma. No na IGP. No di BNI director many years before. Watch chimpeni for be atum. So on them show. So when Kuffour became president, he allowed Namfuri to complete his term. Na kanikakra. Owie. No more Usupoku was next in line. So be we ni die. Ansa na Usunsia. Ansa na ekokosi champon. So, and some of the when you do that, you protect the sanctity and the respect of the establishment. Now, President Obama neba hanoka say, let's build strong institutions, not strong individuals. Because institutions no ne here. Now say we share the akoso judiciary. Ntini papani. Me when I was running last time, I said say mim nyankopon madam NPP 40 mase no mo to abama me. Na me be candidate Ghana for Shirasu na be president. I will put in a cap on the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court is one of the 3 legs of our democracy. Executive no there every 4 years. You call Ghana for no more idiompe. The same with the parliament. Judiciary no pena yes a year a bastion be a mayen tachi. Na yen nyina ye ho kamu a ho na ye betimi akọ. So akwagye nkwankyerɛ and be our shield. So now in those days, now make us say, look, I think we should put a cap on the Supreme Court. In year 22, when I started talking about these things, that made me America can see a crime somebody at 9 or something. And I think we can do 9 or 11. Now, you remove even the 70-year limit. Because, Lord, you need to now have more experience. And then you must say, it is engineering on the NAM site. And they say they grow better like wine. I mean, you are penny anemia boy. The last time, because I knew that one day was and so, obetima yejuma. Wood, obetima yejuma. So, and media say, president, I'll move towards removing that 70-year cap and letting them run till when they are health-wise unable to continue. It drew baby na hoden na pomodin untimi me through aye juma there. Then we can say obetimi akọ. And no, it will reduce the opportunities for presidents to appoint. Now, me say NDC for opposition. Say Nanado, pack court. Nanado crampo there. To be fair to him, na se vacancy bar no affair. No on appointee be or chairman vacancy bar. But hono crown me criticizing the kakra se vacancy bar ko nyai na de nte so amra medru 11 and now bibi am feel say a country of 35 million we need. But where the war criticizes I will buy at a go in one fell swoop 7 justices of the Supreme Court. Yes, be vacancies be appears. There's some sense 21 or 20. Minti bida. Uko appeal courts and high courts the MCNA one kasakra nenkeye. Matis is 40 judges or saying, is that correct? I haven't looked at the figures, which I find disappointing. So right now, what position are you criticizing the presidency or tainted the judiciary with politics? You have done about 4 or 5 times worse in 9 months. That's not how to run a country. Intermediate, me feel say emrenaso for this country to usher in a new dawn, a new politician, a new dimension, and a new direction. And I think Bawumia Kennedy Agyapong, I stand ready to offer that kind of leadership, a better public-spirited, that is dedicated, that is nationalistic. That say, yes, I'm a true patriot of our country, and you do things in the interest of Ghana.
You know, reason why it should be you. Watch but what makes you different? This is not going to be the first time I want to be a different person. I want to do things this way, that way. But what makes you stand out?
Kwame, because me dem yobia me fan say ekunu atitime from Nkola Abrim. I've been tutored through a process. To say Dr. Kuffour Jono, to say Aram Ponsanum, to say BJ Darochanum, to say Kuman Petunum, to say Stephen Kreku, A.K. Deku, Amesimeku, Tomia Metopo, Uko Sema, Muru Salifu, Owo, Boko, Oba, Alaji Shakunum, Wa, Bin Sali, Roland Alassan, Alaji Si Opinum. Obia ni wa men huno ene na nanti ene na ndidi. Lawson FM. Because me na me abranti. And so I've seen omu values, omu fama. Ade ane drive on politically say ombe make sure say party no beba power na kabima men kabi atintim wo man mu. So obeton ho ade kra na ode be ya ode be ye. So wo kai jemfi bi kai. So enti sa ahofama no ene ubeka se everywhere ene usmo obi kura so onkobo poster na ohwe wanim
na me bi kakra
ade a eha oman no oman bia ni ho a odi ye disikasi ye ni so a etimi chichiri ni ye only 80 years ago ukasa achenso na nche the whole world was in rains after the World War II 1945-46 Germany na dafam Japan it was in ashes after the atomic bombs were dropped. But look at them now. built back up by leaders. Omutu omusi osenye sika na ombepeye. Ombeye jumading. They had pride in working and not expecting anything in return. So, intimidate some penifo ambetu omwa ebi kura wuye ansa na 2000 yeba power. Nanso hu oma ho keka a omode som ekuo no a enum na abehye me mu a me feel say me maya brantie I have transitioned that development all over the last 40 years. Me de na me wo ho ti me hu omo ena se say me fan se manyi kakra nti mpese me je bibi man chirima no. This campaign provides a platform for me to showcase what was good about politics and to return to our noble roots when it was a noble calling to be a politician. Na enko bane se yes man se kwa ben mu a te se na ya appoint to say we minister uko vetting kra na amanfo atutuntuma ye de chinie ne de diwachi sense and creates an impression so ka se bibi wo na de bre ye ko bo se kodi and so one hwe here you lose focus. Oh, nti me hwe NDC appointees bia na e ma reho kakra. I thought say yen I certain mistakes and make na me tie chire na me nka ho na me mpe. Wo ba you learn so quickly. Na bi cry worse. And the minister bia kra motorcade. When did that start? Kuffour time nentisa. I was press secretary to the president. It's the rank of a cabinet minister. Manfa moto emfiri mi fiang. Na kojo mpianim na moto bi hono chief of staff no. Obe drive kone no abehye castle. Where musakra won tese o sha. To oba dede bi ani ho. And it was used in exceptional cases. Be a president here will be na timely. Mumfa moto nkofa we mra. Defense minister Kwame Adokufo Tiasi. Mean Kaise no use motorcade.
Defense minister.
Yes. No use motorcade. Wow. So, enti me Kaise IGP our best start use motorcade. M said that a year usun siam ko not chire. Not adenta. And I'm say omuma dispensation say but it wasn't for obia the flags in Asia not disturb It's not good. The country should be run properly. Say who representing Omaina. Ese who de nkofo femu. Bra omo femu na om de akwa adwuma da bia na wadwe om ho ye se wokotena ho a. Ene nipa ekọ adwuma me kai say power isisan ebinum ko adwuma na nkofo de moto credit wonchi. We have overly politicized political appointments to national institutions. The fact that president appointed one does not make you a partisan appointee. You still work for the nation of Ghana. So it is true a political party now also, but once you enter into government and you swear for all of Ghanaians. Into that nationalistic posture and everywhere be very partisan. I been creating me because we need the secretaries in enko organization be organizers in enko. I have always ruled against that. We cannot overly politicize this country. An institution to say NADMO, National Disaster Management Organization. Counterpart America, a friend of FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency. DEFRA, UK. You go and see qualified technical people because you are talking about disasters. To be able to predict, plan, and mitigate the effect of surveyors, engineers, planners. So, parties and you can appoint people who have been trained properly into these positions rather than just partisan or party hacks. And yet, papa, we will lose our statehood. Nancy Musa and this will be Bora Gapo as Omako take over. Yeah. This is a very technical engineering institution. Can you run VRA? Can you run ECG? And TCN cannot crunch a party for no. Yes, and build the economy to say them can. Once we mobilize the productive forces in this country, especially along the President Kuffour do ye be dan ye be na heya golden bean they say we chire heya the da obe no great tree crop development authority na me ka ho 20 before the 2020 election sad ye say it's a very important thing because there are a lot of serious tree crops ye betimi ahwe na value chain no e de adwuma aba na ye be encouraging. What I want to know say when we set up such state entities after how many years now, what targets were they set? A dear no matimi achieve by now. Apart from some motiwa omutua omhoka to talk as it nemu. Ya nunti ne ka say meye say adwuma. By now kesi nya be at least 10 businessmen. Womafa cashew, ana rubber, ana palm. Na ye major plantations. So them na yenya wo mususu a etimi set up factories. Be processing the output from these plantations so that we allow production to take over from just raw importation. So, these are ideas that what my dream I'm determined to make sure say, the transformation of this country becomes a reality. And that's what I'm passionate about. And not to Truntina, but they may want to see us, me Ghana for Kasa. Because near MPP in Kwana, me pese me di anymore. I want to be president of this country because I'm passionate about transforming this country. And I mean, so my ways is no Ghana for omutiasem. They are law abiding. Nemum omutimisha wa udi anymore. Just say who did it? And that is what is happening in this country. And so we should have straight-faced political leaders. You bet me actually Ghana for when him say you have to live within your means. You ain't mean cause there be a budget. Your expenditure something your revenue. Until you hey kwame. Sike de ma and then now so the high dine the trade the show ma. Until we have to build a society where we have a livable wage. Said the President Kuffour kind. We pretend to be paying people and they pretend to be working. So, because me to me know what I the people them and they are say you find so high dying, you find so high or normal ordinary person high dying age of saying be 1,000 a month. Now we did DMO or mamma fancy tour saying our best spending. We bet me calculate at me arrive at a figure be a livable and it's a no now ye demawa ubetimidia and live in dignity. So on them children. Nyese bibia burusu biao, just basic. So those are the things I'm determined to work for. The third, cut down the waste in the public system. Atrocious public procurement in this country. I did see we say a milk drink. Say a ton of 5 cedis. I would ma buying or pebiato. The Bema buying 20 cedis. And nobody will say anything. We have some of the most expensive roads per kilometer in Africa. I'm a civil engineer of some wide experience, and I know what I'm talking about. So, there be a percent any dream is the public treasury that we are messing up. And instead of allowing it to release funds for other sectors of the economy, until we need to impose order and discipline, and that's my fifth point. Ensure say regard and respect for rules and regulations. We enforce it. We attach a very strong penalty regime. So when there are infractions, when say you pay a big price. Now, Omaya, every year after year after year, the Obetiane say, Auditor General, the report about Tikasi ya Tikasi ya faha. And so, unti say, ya be ya punish you be that. And at the end of me, I don't believe in wasting all your time looking backwards. So you can make an example of 1 or 2 significant people. Because Ghana, asemsi ani akofa do chef of no, na yako punish no. And so the head of the establishment, no, he walks free. What is important to set example with the people at the top, and no, who say we are dedicated and you have zero tolerance for corruption. Those are the kinds of things, the kind of leadership I want to lead this country with. And of course, the regeneration of our urban environment.
All right.
City etino enyefe kwame. And ajumebe kumasi miswa ye omeha hana miko school. and San Amico Secondary School, Royal International, opposite TI Media Stadium Mechiho. Na miswaso yeti Kuffour. So, ti miso mi yekobolo kakra. Ye nantini yekoso ami yekohebo ni aba base park. Ni ade. Inti minim the way na Kumasi.
Yeah.
Ye boku ni ye ba stadium a. Ye ba beto se children's park wo kwem ho no atran ho no ahome. And then all the greenery in this country is being wiped out. Ni ade brick and mortar. O man o wiase so no Nyankopon obo nua kransa na obo nipa o. E si Adam ko any friend say ne garden mu no. Garden mu no enti se wo betwa dua me so de my postgraduate engineering degree is in environmental engineering when I studied in the University of Surrey in Guildford in the UK. Enti me are very passionate about green things. Say ye tick room hana ye garden city. Ne Madam Fubika say they say ukuba Kumasi a dan bia ya share na space to say what I said okay just say a dan can see sisi Kumasi once I see no ya extension be I said obviously I share no space okay is how mistress enti so-called extensions to almost everything ni abubo nuya niema very unsightly architects because aesthetically impure so them shown enti these are things that worry us as a country. Our planning requirements are not respected. And again, I pay a dinsi sandodo. They town and country planning. It's simple. Aware, easily to identify. Oh, the chrome. And the consultant near Tuaniska. No, Sendino, land, use, and spatial. It's unnecessary. Sana. Miaminia, Ebesesa, BNI, I brand, so I NIB. NIB is a bank. And so called FBI and CIA. What is in the name? Nagana, the BNI assistant BB. The Abambia, no assistant, no the BB. I mean, we should stop that. And I think 10 years ago, when I was General Secretary, I made this point on hot issues with Kwesi Pratt. I believe that 19 ministries should be 19 cabinet ministries should run this country. And I have consolidated all of them into those 19. And that should have one deputy minister, 38. And you add it to the 16, you can run this country with 54 ministers. Yes, why? And the president or one vice president. And the president or vice president be the entire minister or deputies be. There are technical people there who are supposed to do the work. Ministerial leadership is policy leadership and management. Not even technical leadership. That is why you have directors, chief directors, and technical directors under you. No ministers nefo. No eye service no. Eye service no. Ye mama na your friends and because how is it that there are certain projects, I mean as a civil engineer, up till now, I cannot understand the justification and the rationalization. One who start train a EBIN from Tema to Impakadaya. And the way you raise the embankment, the cost to the country and to the economy, a kind of debt for how many years? When we say train faster, now say project. When we say train, no, a faster maybe once or twice a day. Why should you raise an embankment and have a great separation and have overheads which cost us big money? You beat me. I said they all circle because I make once a day and not twice a day there. Ebechema na pulu gates ni down na etwem traffic atwen ekowe na page abroche ya na sa bebre na engineers me aminu no o matimi advise minister and our government at the time no otimi raise embankment. It has completely changed the drainage regime in those communities since you twa na ebinum fie num aye flooded. So a lot of things are both a mix of technical and political. And that's why I want to restore professionalism and meritocracy to our public services. And we should hold ourselves responsible, we the technocrats. So come home. And I'm director of Ghana Institution of Engineering. Mekai say, we a technocrat, na minister, now we need the right advice to give the person. Throw down, never command. Say, overrule, you have something to show. Say, oh, I advised this way. But he had the political authority to take the final decision. And to Kwame, Omaino, where we are now, we are not in a good place.
Right.
I don't like the direction we are going, And I think it's time for us to recalibrate our thinking and see about what politics is and what governance is. It's about service. I see a besun, ye jumading, abeboa pija ankrankwe to improve their livelihoods. Ya masa ye bedidi, abem, so that people come and within years they are building apartments and schools and other things. It is wrong and we have to condemn it. And if we, the political leaders, don't do it, I don't know who would do it. I was in government before. I didn't do that. I didn't take advantage of my position. I was very close to the then president to abuse it and acquire wealth. I didn't do that because Enyad Sani etete me. Right. Timijidis as a party for, and a Ghana for, we have a new generation leader, Obese Samomayana. Woman time chitapa. I believe Ghana can be transformed in a matter of years.
Okay. Now, I mean, Mekai said, prior to the 2024 elections, internal primaries are more the super delegates and men qualify to the mainstream.
I
want to look at something.
That's right.
They said, "Dear common was say this time round
I moved for some changes in the constitution. Media. Na me feel say yemie electoral college and na so me nua keto bia send me document bi o mama dwen ho kakra. He also has a point. Say we call Britain no ma Conservative Party no omo we select leader. So omo group bi feel say omo nim de omo ye most of the thing and sana omo de akwabontin. Every country and theirs. My feeling was that, look, nipa kakra biye na it gets to a point that ultimately will be manipulating nipa kakra na because super delegates only about 800. The way are not on my anymore year kakra ne mo widen na say obi kura sika no also better 500.
We are in it.
Oh in it. So obetima turn nipa 500 no so nto kasa obemo obi even 50,000. Obetimi enya sika no. So I thought, say, a behadwin. And no can when I move for that party no accepting ye yes as super efrio. Me make us say kayema obia was some party no da. Me dem ya me feel say omo some party na omo dobi my party no. Omo risk especially from 1992. Omo de ho abafore into ono no nye sika no na besesa no. And the presidential elections, nipa ne doso a sika na san na de be ma no besesa na shebre. Wa ma no an 200, 300, 400, 500. And when se nipa shebre, will be tam 50,000 ma na and there e betimi a confuse you. Ti na me ka say super delegates no yenyim free o. Me that party as so mo team ase. With when na me feel say senkema all the former polling station executives. Ade so her party in say polling stations no. Me general secretary me the book bi by say me pese ye share party no article 3 na talks about membership ese tembiya na review membership na face so ye meetings party no ye meetings ye twa elections beba na ye beto aba na nipa bi di America we a polling station executive no adwuma ne say obeto aba o wa adwuma ne say una be lead the party's advocacy e wo ba bia o no nti sen kwala enyini ye be register on posters one MPP ni one MPP ni one na obetimi convince ye mu adwuma na ekoba ne se party no any source adwuma no nti ye sese ye to aba mo amoye se adwuma mo na mbeto ene ye frɛ mo delegates afede omo refi omo adwuma na de omo ni so no ene omo frɛ omo ho delegates ma and say interview akola because o nyina obey MPP delegate. There is no such position as delegate in the party's constitution anyhow. So, na koba no sa anya presidential no kra ya na hu ho parliamentary no. Say parliamentary no a restricted area. Be a nipa 1,500. Enti obi timi so was wato TV 1,000. Na wache. The next day will be at of fridge 1,000. No wakoche. Also Kumasi and Ghana nyina yet communal houses. Me MPP ni, usu MPP ni just that way a polling station executive. Ukoba now the TV aba. Ukoba wo de ntoma bre o ye. Ukoba wo de fridge aba. Na me yesu ko hwe wo yiri nkwan mu a enam na edi afurusa ne ehruhu mu. Obehwem say na kwabran wo party no uka ho. Edru se wo koto aba. Afi o si enyina nkoye adwuma na ohwe onim din. Eno no 2 million na anto aba amaye no. E ka ho kese pa. Say yan krofo and anchor out anchor to aba. Because and apart from that, me am be general secretary. Me am krom secretary na me come ho Odwaben. Na uze hono de bi antokwa mampon sem ho. Agunapo de ya na ho ye. Kumawu Ejuso Odwaben. Mensia North. MP Weber no I be Canada no yi nkrofo from so the nkrofo abeshim. To stop all that, when I became General Secretary, I printed 40,000 polling station books. So every polling station be a book back on to register. Move meeting will be intro intro date, intro be and a polling station meetings normally nipa be 20, 25, when you cry 30. Most places you cry. So they will manage themselves. Mean TSS say a polling station election yes, it will be free region and will be free Hannah ebe supervise. I'm gonna tell you meetings. I'm gonna name you home. Into a polling station no. Obi wa onte ye de na betrans o meto abama obi. MPB pe and I chairman bi pe so san ko bi onti no. No my into my polling station arrangement no. Aye poisoned kakra. Di na me feel sense nke ye omo gi tum de me kan na. One more free moon nyina na commitment voting right. Nti otif abonte an ye ne ya say ye yine free he has been schemed out. And I say word be I see word be about party me friend mafia was a day. Yeah, started party man to the word mafia. And so I say ya mafia no. And yet word papa. We nya you sukra me mo so.
My mimi say you it's kasam a hard drink. Yeah, you have a TV. Just last week, I get an interview.
And last week.
Along the line, yes,
development fee. So why worry too much? Why worry too much?
They made me a can and say, yeah, I don't want to even go back there because we've been able to reach some amicable solution. I'm part of the race. I'm on the ballot. Me, I said it even to the vetting committee. Me was suspension as general secretary. Me mobilize this guy at the Boa party.
Yeah, I remember.
So okay.
Constituency.
This is me discuss Boa. Na me tifie. Yes, yeah, my man can. So me see no. Me na me general secretary. Me no more. Omo ho chire omo. Me catch me na for kakra me am de kakra na me de ko Boa. Enti se ope. The whole concept of development fee no cry. It came say yen ne per se protect MPs no. Ko MP no on kan. Obo no obi win dua won na feature. Enti you feel say MP no within that 4 years no or ko year or to fundaka or yes or enema enti the oba challenge ni who say one nature constituency ni dia to a BB for the development of the party. That's how it came about. A presidential primary obi ame party time we are say ehu ye pe obi atra national television so 1992 na me na me akola say na mpanifo but na ehu Kuffour nyuma Rollins egu no omo adwane kwa abrochire mpanifo meeting ye no Dr. Safo Adufie wo East Lagos Haruna Atai ne wakodi baby a say we ambassador no timbi o ka publicity committee on editor of Statesman Jacob Echibilamte and chairman of the publicity committee Hackman and ne council now ultimate meeting numbi ne ye penipa penifo e ka so obi asisi ntrase na ba ko se kwamra wona wa abrante ene ye de dachi e hye wonsa enti se mo kaya bia na mususa 92 abrante pa na national televisions miso ye adwuma wa ban adwuma mo nipa iso satane o soja ban mo nyanko transition soja ni so oda ban so onu so se ogina bi tie se okogina TV so na we campaign tia no ka kire Ghana for se mamo ntuma soja ni a the curfew ni niam pia be haye mo ntuma Professor Dubois uni akukuduro uni aho fama they my friend sacrifice and me can and some American me can keke. It's not words, it's the life that I have led in this country and in this party for everybody to see. So enti ekobana sana ntina I disagreed with that whole thing, but a party I respect my party, I disagree with them, but we reached an amicable solution and that's behind us.
General, do you see unity after these internal primaries?
That is why I think I'll be the most viable candidate. Me niema BC, my brabum, emphasize the unity. 92 ane can ye mrante young executives, ni di Safo Adufie. ye call Congress you Lucy adechie na ode call Professor Dubois ahemfie ena okan ye nyina bo ntina means although man supported Professor Dubois during the primaries no me na me TV so me Casamano. I was doing the party political broadcast at the time when it was life-threatening to be identified with the party. 98, mo amokai. Me na me di Kuffour anim ye launching in campaign war enkrai Ebenezer hall a war Presbyterian osu na mpagya nsa the next president of the Republic of Ghana Nana Addo Dankwa Kuffour for the first time nipa dodo na friend Nana Addo no monte Addo Dankwa na chronicle the Renaissance man. So you could do Sunyan na Mr. Kuffour dey here from say team Kuffour anka say ye di Kuffour anim ti me enko e baby sa time na laji nusa eko ndisi ntina afake yi na be campaign manager Jake on madwuma me ne year from Adubu Ahen time to from say kwabra be run communications no ni position called I wasn't given a title but I was the de facto director of communication of that campaign and the party at the time to the extent said that ye to aba enka Kuffour betimi akase boy you want support to me but unya gidie wo mu say abranti wasom party me ginidi call electoral commission na ko hwe mabaso
anytime
okay I hear be afili the champion here
Rojo
anytime he enters and he goes out
any 2008 cry we 2007 cry na make me na me fa phone frere mampeni at that time no nye mampeni say Mr. Kuffour you are now elected as the president na me see me dede na e course won ni fie because me na me nko am say strong room me friend no
other about no that are not parties in your most strong
enti me na me hu figures no ne niam bi e course am mu see ya weni awie so enso so be a president wan ka say onya de openti no me try de go baby o ma press secretary say ne ba of am say ne ba otua na matiem say White House no kwa meeting nchen Buckingham Palace a meeting nchen Imperial Palace of Pekin say Tokyo meeting nchen baby so timisua sa nyansa no free ne ho say enkabom enidie kasapa onso obi a okaya de wetima fro kwamra free Sunday mame wo time na the party chairman no ono pass metie wo Ghana ha onko national security for obe free ne chairman no be kan say be kan no kire me chief driver no ma na wo yendi wo ho a na wa frɛ wo opani adu sɛ odete ase kumawu chairman nana sabre de we frim asarbedi akonom pani sɛ mensa so afrim manhia chairman so ho dem cho no we ye ne Crawford o nya duru kuma sɛ na mo nyina ba o mbe ka kyerɛ no de ekoso wo fom bia nti ohu na this kind of enti na make unity no na me kra kai sɛ 2020 me kra na mo suspension Sir Kuffour do be frame me ne ko Ghana ha nyina buano ye woni ye say ye bobodi media amba man kasa ntia party no da because me feel say obi say respect party no na e bo party no ho ban me I'm very uncomfortable so be na can be e de tia party no so of course ene me bi enko ya itimi ka no kwampa so entimi ntia say binom ye campaigner ensem o mo ka no they said the omude ammunition ama NDC say ewia NDC fantomoy but me kan obi a ho asembone ntina me feel say party for so mutie me here me obi a me ne Kuffour do aye adwuma me ne Kuffour aye adwuma me ne Adubu Ahen aye adwuma na 20 a year na woken manya bi first round na man ko support the party for no pen me ne call round that time na ebinu kikam na showdown na say na we so jai we so say ne ade me si dabi de ayifo ye kire me de Kuffour ye in 1998 de Adubu Ahen ye in 1992 kire say ye to abawi a ye wie with all the imperfections no ye wie say we a party ni we are a patriot of the MPP there ese wo beta de dodo no ato ababa no me na me wen a me expect to be a better me enti me ta na chi kwampa so ne ko Ghana nyina enti me na se me wen am so Bawumia no so obetuma beta machi easily obia o mbia no ye obia mini no mini obia ni asem na emmo mu hwe de ekoso your platform so and then somewhere across social media been more special television stations be to them to money huna but them they are two party for so mo penka bompa if you want the unifier Bawumia Agyapong will be the glue to hold together this party and deliver victory in 2028 and the 2 minimum sem na wo omuntie nyese afie na ombo ha na ogudu we na ebuzo me so me ko ba bia me ye question and answer na makachiro nse omuzi one se mo so nam se hwan na wo so mo na mo to aba mo ni mo edi nsamane wo party tini ye wo nipa ye to obi edi wo mo ye niema emfata name and shame so enti mo nto aba ma sa nipa na mo nto ma me ha me de ani die to ho acha ye adwumaden se mo ye party for delegates na mo so mo nim se mo adwumaden it should be rewarded then set an example by rewarding hard work. So we understand next time obi ba o me kensem a emfata ana ensem a ebegu party ne ho fi ntimi de masem ye kakra bi
okay
de metimi ayanse mesre nyame na menye sika kakra de atopetru we na mu enya asem keto de se na okay kan ne feso no se nka ukọ constituency bia na wetimi asia delegates 1500 enso 100 cities cry 150,000 one constituency one multiply it by 270.
Have 47.
47. The way I'm a bear, every constituency one spend the ground 20 to 30,000. Multiply by 40. You are crossing a million. And yes, kakitwa. And no crown nature say, and no crown can say, 200 some and fakao. So, enti enya de da fom enti aboafo enti na ahomachi me frefre be na fofo that be said do he mo ame na maduru kumase me pese me wie na me ko ahafo na me ko western north ben so o haze eje kumase de mo fie o hanti me nko da hotel me mo ka kese de ade enti de me sre party for no say omo nkai ye bre omo nkai omo bre me susu de mo pu bi a ya twe na bo so o party mu a me kan say obi ani ho wa go through that enso man na mani anche party no that
resilience commitment towards the New Patriotic Party the sacrifice that you've done for the party no a word study
no Kuffour.
Oh yes a word study. This is not the first time I'm saying this because you see some of us along the line sorry say be am cover along the line obey general secretary DC Edru baby ma me minya problem already so I'm not sure you heard of it but minya problem already so why because I questioned a certain statement that was made say you were the general secretary you should have prevented your chairman from and because of that why a bonnet and
now the hard drink crown says then some so enya no crack
you see
enya no crack
not way you know sadi way you know
me one kasa
not a way
hey David
man tiso no be banta man tiso no be way man tise na no be can be man tise what you know be just say wo fu the last time I interviewed you I questioned you that say do you still harbor pains? You woman be say so if I ask you that question, it means me know the kasama who pains me na make say you still harbor. Never harbored any pain here womuda. That's what you said to me.
Yeah.
I still remember. I was back. I was Angela. That's what you said to me.
Say we are say ofa ya omu na usa. Me dey told me
96.3.
Kwam papa fa so free mu na me struggle co school tech. Na me dey na kakra bia baby a obeda de obedi ekura onimbi me kwa brochire first me bo bosian from nipa 3 sata na Ghana was just 6,000 skadada ba kom me bo 2,000 madam for before America on the edu baby na ade na ede no na e ko ni ma me ho ba crash na o skabihye dem pass no de ma me na me so sana me kwa brochire me nyese me ko keke me kwa ko bo adwuma na menya kakram de betua na bia kam na me de akọ school nyesa school of course that time na eti kakra because ne mo aduane ne ne makaka nyesa anka education kwa kam ndimi enwie so ho enti enu nte ma me hu ye din enti na me share politics mu ntem no because I wanted to see the back of those who committed those heinous crimes. Nti election e she me pay 92. Enye ne de. Could do one here and win 4 days na me ka kwa na me baby esi. Obi na de bi kofi. So enti ene me tu nkola ne fo. Na me hwe omo su ni e ban na omo kasa basa. Eni die yen Ghana for the it tears obi anyin sin wa umma wa no entra no. Woni ne wo issue kra ubetimi aka kwampa so na wa kire wadwen. Nanso ene mon kola ibiti TV so dim penimfo atem di ahemfo atem chese enema ekoso no odwen ho a enye intimidate me no I don't suffer fools. I'm a very firm tough character. Nanso so abufu madam for me a doctor me na me the best man no catch him say me starting medical school na me room agent na me switch call it made me na for nyina doctors and o catch him say who squeeze when ma bufu a who use 45 muscles so boa me se me boa o say who use less 15 muscles.
Okay.
Now,
I've heard something like that.
So, me manim, and I'm bubefu many manim there. Me kai some papa no police ni bi. They say them so free. The friend is Sergeant Allo. Na o corner bi o Kuku Hill. Opposite baby a Professor Mills do be ne office na Harrison ya fie ho no. Ne o Tokrovich said, "Mimi sir, that na me be from 4 and half from 20. Awia, papa o court no mama ya ba. Papa ko kwanam tinkam. No makosha obe pia no mu nanim na no shine se no mko buka kra etimi yakwa na mbusa se ne die na ukoba da bia na wamu na wanim sa no simi yakwala me nyaje na mse so obe nom ensa na wamu na wanim dia ntimi se ensa nya dia because me wudi ade de nkume so dem cho ne ade a enyu no enti se emuna ene abufuo me bu ntamfu ena ansa na mbubefu no once and cry back very easily.
And because since Kuffour's time to date, I've never heard this man insult anyone in this country before. I really like him. I haven't seen him before.
Oh.
I pray one day I meet him.
Oh.
A victory is his. Richard, Stadium Sobulu.
Oh, hey.
No.
I can't say mo Kumasi enti so who on the number no send their man no my friend no.
First I say Kennedy Agyapong is an icon in our party. He is one of the most truthful person in the party. We wish him well. Or say why is he not meeting all delegates rather constituency executives? I think watch him a brain of continue. Kennedy Agyapong, I want to ask you whether you know late Alhaji BK Adama from the Upper West region.
Of course.
Okay. And also
former Interior Minister Buzia time.
Okay.
No nyini ye crow bank na me kostra no to New Town. Ne man be a man for say America say.
Okay. Jira. Yebeda sinan fa wo.
Na de me ko ayi Asante Achim anopay awie 12 o'clock.
Okay.
12:30 na me no machia. 3 constituencies na ho no. Mfua na me come ya me krum search for Kumawu from Plains Fijase ene adwoso no dwaben be hia wo dwaben say your party office kase bi ho. And me wie we chinam se me ko amanse be kwai na masan ko adanse asokwa akohia omo wo ho ye chiche ne sa oboasefo na nka se me hia omo ochina so chairman no de ibi excuse bi aba me no man de kro na am say okay na ebetu omo hyeda
next time
oboase east and west na Kuffour mpena and he free also says Saturday wo finso
FM 96.3
beshia na atwemafo no so ewo abuakwa.
Right.
Nti eguso ye ne kakra ne mamponfo no so yebehia omo agona.
All right. General Edasi.
Me da si pa. Me da wasi.
Some of us are in what you're capable of. In what is in you.
Me da si.
Not because you're here, but anytime the team will tell you. Say they be me officer me transfer me case say me with the Victor Power. We be chairman, we be secretary, we be presidential candidate, we be. and that is a formidable force. But minister power.
Sanity.
David, you can't say Yame Onchao.
Medawasi.
On count, to find out the number.
Yeah.
And keep to today.
Yeah.
And Yanko Pondia or Bremobia.
Sanity.
Whether you win this contest or you don't even win, perish the thought.
That's right.
But if you don't even win, know that what play Robia. A lot of us have learned a lot from you.
Medasi. I want to be known as the one who stood for the right things to be done in our country.
Yeah.
No,
okay, yeah, I see. Engineer Kobina Agyapong and to say needing como yeah, the team non so as up next the fisem and eba.